screen.
I'm loading into Dota now, and I cannot see you, Christopher. But we are streaming, and we are live. My loading screen is probably the Naga Siren one. Nope.
I had a Naga Siren
it's
too.
Puck. It's Puck. Wait, you had the the big Naga with the her like
no, I had
I'm surprised
one of
singing
her
face.
one of her item sets.
Got it. Cool. We're in.
We're in. We are good. All right. So this is Pit Lord Meta going up against Poutine, right?
Yeah. Who are you?
Poutine King Bar. It's like I always feel like I'm pronouncing that word wrong.
Poutine.
Poutine. Like I know that it's like pho.
Yeah, you just can't ever say it right.
And
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's pho? Like, there's more to it every single time. But Pit Lord Meta versus Poutine King Bar, this is the winners finals of the first season.
Semi-finals.
No, this is winners finals.
Okay.
So
sure.
winners finals goes into grand finals. Whoever wins this is in the finals.
I guess
Whoever wins this is, at a minimum, going to get third.
It's fine. It's not like I run this and should know these things. You're right. You're right.
I've looked at many tournament brackets in my day, and eventually you just make sense of all of them, because tournament brackets get really insane really quickly. But I'm excited for this match just because winners finals, and Mitch, we've been watching these guys pretty much beat everybody. Actually beat everybody for the past couple months or so.
Yeah, both teams have been like a wrecking
dogs.
ball. Just a destructive force of sadness for every other team in the Rektreational.
I do not believe Pit Lord Meta has lost a game yet. Like, every match has been a 2-0 stomp for them. I say stomp as one of the teams that lost 2-0. As for Poutine King Bar, they have lost one game to League of Legends in their first round match. League of Legends still alive strong, actually, in my my part of the losers bracket. Not facing them quite yet, though.
A game 3 to play still against Phosphor Fierce.
Yeah. Forgot about that. So they're hanging on by a thread. But right now, PKB versus PLM, already well into picks and bans. Viper being picked up first by Pit Lord Meta, a favorite of J-Sauce, I'd call the team captain. The guy we've been playing a lot of Dota with lately. And then PKB going with the first pick, Faceless Void. I mean, Faceless Void was really funny in his trendiness. For 6.82, he dropped like a rock for like a day and a half. And everyone realized he's still an amazing hero. He can still wreck late game. Some heroes are just a little bit better versus him because of passes not being disabled. So he's coming right back into the vogue. Also, Meepo being banned out. I think that's actually
gotta be
I want to say
a Mark Rupley ban.
Yeah, so that's a Rupley ban. Rupley does play Meepo. Rupley's got a really wide variety of heroes he plays. He's the Chen guy. He's the one guy out of like 100 people you know that can play Chen.
Yeah, when you see on Dota Buff that somebody has played Chen, it's Mark.
He is like the 0.1% of games that have a Chen. Not including the ancient rush that happened after the patch, which once again was really popular for like a day and then dropped off like a rock because it turns out dragons at the 30-minute mark still die really quickly to carries. But overall, both teams going for, I'd say, safe picks, at least to themselves. Nothing too crazy, too off the wall. Ancient Apparition being picked up this really isn't that odd. We could see a pretty solid combination come out with AA. Heroes like Slark, heroes that can benefit, a Trialing that can benefit from his amazing Cold Touch buff. If you ever want to win a Trialing, pick Ancient Apparition and then just apply his damage buff, and you will stun one person and kill him, as your team will do, I think, 450 damage from that early level of a Cold Touch, or Chilling Touch. Now, how do you feel about these picks and bans so far, Mitch?
Yeah, I was just about to say that Poutine King Bar is picking some very traditional picks. Obviously, like, Razor and Void, both incredible heroes. Razor is nearly unstoppable in the mid lane. He will clean out and win almost any lane. Traditionally, Void, obviously very good in combat. But it's interesting to see both teams still kind of habitually banning heroes that were really nasty in 6.81.
I mean, like, luckily those heroes, or actually I don't know if it's luckily, but those heroes have stayed nasty, and it's also what most of Rektreational matches were on 6.81, so that's what everybody recognizes right now. And do you switch over to what the pub, I'd say the strong pub picks are, like Spectre, or do you just ban out what we knew was good before? Spectre, by the way, I probably should get banned out. We do see Doom and Witch Doctor going out so far. I'd expect a lot more Faceless Void oriented bans coming out from Pit Lord Meta, so they could also take out Skywrath Mage with this next pick, maybe Jakiro, just anybody that works really well with Chronosphere. Yes, I know Jakiro, Faceless Void is a great combination just because Macro Pyre will get 4 ticks off. Lone Druid being banned out, that's actually a J-Sauce pick as well.
And that's probably a very solid ban from Poutine King Bar.
I would agree, except
he's already chosen, yeah.
Yeah, which is a traditional J-Sauce pick. So maybe we'll see him go for something a little bit different, or they might have expected to go for something a little bit different. Have someone else pick up Viper. Viper's not exactly the hardest mid laner to pick up if you have some experience with him. So prevents these sort of weird lane switcheroos.
That Ogre Magi pick is really good.
So it's kind of fun actually. Like Wraith, I feel like Wraith and Ogre Magi early on fulfill just similar roles. Both have scary stuns and that set up an incredible laning phase. So Ogre Magi, if he'll get the Fire Blast off, and you're set up to go for an early kill. However, Pit Lord Mana has the Wraith King with that Wraith Fire Blast, which I want to say is a longer stun and has a slow attached afterwards. So level 1 with Ancient Apparition, they now have a threatening tri-lane. Like it almost doesn't matter what carry they pick because that carry will be effective in killing early on. Like of course, in the late game, the carry matters quite a bit, but for the early level First Blood. I do want to see who they match with the Ogre Magi. Weaver actually being picked up by Pit Lord meta. Alright, we talked about this today, Mitch. Weaver can offlane. He can also go for that hard carry role. Do you think this is offlane Weaver, or do you think this is going to be tri-lane safe lane Weaver?
It depends on the last pick, I suppose, because Viper will almost certainly go mid. Wraith King and Ancient Apparition could both probably effectively tri-lane with a carry that they pick for the safe lane. It's tough call, man. I'm very excited to see who the final pick is going to be.
Yeah, I want to see, like, you don't really see Weaver that often, but you put him in a tri-lane like this, and he's so effective at keeping up with targets early on. Like, that's one of the big ways to escape a level 1 fight. You just walk away, and no one has that many spells, no one has sustained CC, so it's like, alright, I'm just going to leave the fight, which you when you have Blink Daggers later on, when you have Scotty's, slows, either ways to keep up, it's not as effective. Level 1, though, Weaver doesn't really care about that just because he's so fast and so mobile. You know, 4 seconds of max move speed is enough to catch up with anybody, except maybe a blinking anti-mage. And if there's a blinking anti-mage going up against that Weaver, something's gone horribly wrong. Brewmaster being locked in for PKB. It's really funny, like, you can kind of see both these lineups being run in 6.81. The one hero that really doesn't fit the old Cella meta would be Ogre Magi. But the Magi's locked in, and
he's getting a lot of love in 682. He's just such a versatile support.
Like his stun is ridiculous. Like
what changed though? It's always been good.
It's always been good, but it's never been as consistent. Like they actually reduced the damage of his stun, but now that you get multicast is a lot more consistent past at level 1 in the future. You're no longer just going, man, I hope I at least get a double cast. Like, you're probably going to get a double cast for most of his casts later on. Which sucks, actually. I hate playing against him. It's not fun to play against. But, I mean, he's okay to play against. Just sometimes he gets too skillful for you.
Brew is probably one of my least favorite heroes to fight against at the moment. He's just such a brute. Very difficult to take down, really easy. He is such a great means of turning a fight around. He can fight till he's almost dead and then pop his ult, split. Interesting final picks.
I know oh my god, they're doing okay. The gyrocopter pick is awesome. Let's know with that, and it's actually gonna be really legit. So yeah, that is not a safe lane gyrocopter.
No, really,
offlane gyrocopter.
Okay,
they're doing what I think they're doing. I've seen Pit Lord meta do this before. And it's going to be like what we saw with Crispy when he went gyrocopter mid lane versus Phosphor Feeders. You max out the missile, and the missile does insane damage. It's what, 500 damage now at level 4? Well, max rank of the spell. So you put him in the off lane, and you just have him level up the missile, and you just keep spamming the carry. And if it's someone that can't sustain, or if they don't kill the missile, which quickly gets difficult because of the scaling hits on it, then the carry just will eventually be forced out of lane. And because it's not a all-in harass, because you could just send it from the back line, they're just going to take damage. Like, it's a really, really odd lane, but he's so fast at level 1. Like, check his move speed. He's at 315 and 625 HP with the 2 gauntlets he bought. But they're going to have trouble keeping up with him, and he's just going to level up, hit level 5 and just keep spamming rocket on the carry. It's weird. It's really, really weird, but it works now. Missile is such an odd spell.
PKB is coming out of the gate really fast and really hard. All 5 of them running into the off lane. Probably going to take a smoke around here.
Let's see who's got the smoke. Let's check some inventories. On the mad guy? Is it on the Jakiro? It's on the Jakiro. Okay, the guy who's in.
He's lagging behind. Yeah. Hey guys, wait for me. My move speed's what, like 290? Yeah.
You know, I mean, well, he's got to carry 2 heads. Like, no way he can keep up.
This is really bad news for this Weaver. His first skill is Sakuchi might give him a little bit of leeway here to make an escape.
Yeah. So, the advantage for Ogre Mad Guy is his stun is instant. There is no travel time on it, unlike Wraith King. So Wraith King, he's got a huge windup. If Dual Eclipse got caught out, he could just easily Sakuchi away. But they really only have that stun, that Ogre Mad Guy stun to contain Weaver, so they'd have to burst him down in the space of 1 Ogre Mad Guy stun if they really want to go for a kill. They're rotating away from top though, looking more for that mid lane maybe. We're just gonna put some wards down.
I do want to take a minute to acknowledge this Void's incredible hammer.
Oh my god!
What is that? A Mjolnir?
Phenomenal. What is this hammer called?
What is this?
It's the Void Hammer.
Naturally.
With the triumphant Time Lord gem. That is a fantastic piece of electrical art. Dude, they've been pinging him because they know. Like, look at that cool hammer.
Yeah. Check it out, man.
Okay, we can see, actually, it's going to be a tri lane. So they're doing Weaver safe lane. I think the concept here is they want to go aggressive. I was wrong, they're not doing the really funny gyrocopter off lane missile spam. But you'll notice that, yeah, they have Ancient Apparition and Wraith King hiding in the side. However, will PKB get caught off by this? You expect Weaver to be the one who solos. Okay, we can see aggression coming towards Jules now. Fireball does hit him. Not gonna do a whole lot, but it's a free spell. You can harass, you can be aggressive.
Yeah, no mana on that.
They need to go relatively soon. They need to go relatively soon on this Void, or just someone on this bot lane. Like, looking at last hits dies, Jara's keeping up well. Here comes the trial, and here comes the aggression. Jules' gonna take a lot of damage starting this off.
Okay.
They go forward with the time lane. Jules taking a lot of damage now. Ancient Apparition has casted is Tilling Touch. A lot of damage coming out towards Jakiro, but they can't quite finish him off. Jules on the run, trying to stay alive, trying to not give away a first blood. Place Void does go down first in this sort of weird bit of kiting. Stun connects onto Jules, but he'll just walk right away. And that's it, first blood. A nice little bush gank coming out and keeping Lord Meta on top of their game. That was weird.
Void's already back in his lane. He wants that kill. He wants that gyrocopter kill. He's only got 150 HP and climbing.
They don't have any CC for him. He'd have to leap or time walk. I think it's a time leap, which I think is a better spell because it makes me think of quantum leap.
Yeah.
But, time walk
it's time
into
jump.
the
classic
time walk into the time lock. Oh my god, it's rhyming. If they could do time walk into time lock, then alright, maybe they could burst them down. That was unfortunate. Jakiro just didn't have any CC, so they couldn't keep anybody in place. Which you expect just because Fire Breath is so good for harass, but unfortunately for a full-on 3v3 at level 1.
We have the AA and the Wraith King both coming around here in mid with JSauce. He's got his DD in mid. But they want that Razor. They want him down. That's
Mac going down, Mac not surviving this. This is PKB roaming. Ripley gonna go down low. Okay, he will survive. It was close for a second. One more missile turret, or missile shot could have done it. But the tower decides it's his chance to live today. I mean, across the board, Lord Meta is doing well. Weaver up top lane is having a little bit of trouble with Brewmaster, but he's not out of mana, so Dual Eclipse should be able to easily get some farm. Plus, he's not here to kill Brewmaster. He's here just to farm up, and eventually, once Brewmaster hits level 6, he can easily survive that combo.
This roaming duo coming through the jungle here once more.
And Rupley and Baconbach just taking control. We never introduced the players.
We didn't.
That Lord Meta, or that PKB aggression kept us from doing so.
They were doing too many interesting things out of the gate.
Well, on the subject of interesting things, something interesting might happen to Barishnikov up here.
Yeah, this Brew, if he's unlucky, he's going to get caught out, but he might be a little bit aware of what's going on.
So, I don't think they spotted him with spotted Wraith King and Ancient Apparition with the ward. They did not, they don't know they're up there, but they have a good feeling just because
they've been roaming, they're missing.
Yeah, and Gyrocopter has not had any backup, so they should know. Alright, there's one lane where they could come out and gank, unless they decide to start stacking and pulling at the top lane, which might be their backup measure. They are level 2 now. They at least have their second spell. You know what? Let's do it. Let's introduce the players.
Alright, we have time
the
now.
Weaver. Yeah, okay, let's start with the Weaver. We'll go top to bottom. We've got Dual Eclipse for Lord Meta. Bacon Bach on the Ancient Apparition hanging out in your mid lane, with Rubly right next to him. On the Wraith King, J-Sauce repping that Viper, looking for some possible aggression onto Mac, but his friends have left. Actually, bottom lane, Jules going for the kill onto Demons. This one doesn't come out.
This is probably not going to go well for him.
Forward. I think this might be a dead gyro. He might be able to walk away. He is really fast. Time lock doesn't connect. And the dot isn't quite enough for that final kill. So gyrocopter aggression. Those early tranquil boots just keeping him alive.
Getting support from his friends here.
He's got some amigos nearby, but those amigos, they can really set up a kill now just because Jakiro is low. He did not have a salve, just went ahead and ate a tree. So if they decide to follow up, they can make some stuff happen. Those supports are getting really far behind in experience, so now smoked up, they're looking for another kill. And if that kill happens, Fraser goes down, then we can introduce PKB.
Okay. I'm kind of rooting for him now. I want to do the intros, man.
Poor Mac. Come on, Mac. Don't do it, Mac. Don't be in lane, Mac.
Oh, he's in trouble.
He is.
That is the second time that Razor has gone down. That is unfortunate.
And that is unfortunate for so many reasons. If you look at the vision for PKB, they just don't have any. They have 0 wards on the map, actually. Did they not start with wards?
They may have let it go.
That would be one of the reasons that this ganking is so effective now. For
they're pinging Jules in the river.
No coverage. Gonna get the bounty rune. He's full HP.
Oh, but is it worth it?
I mean, I think it's more than
it might be now.
Well, they haven't broken his tranquil boots, so he's still moving at 405 move speed. He's gonna catch up to Mad Guy.
Oh, that Mad Guy's in trouble.
They're not gonna stop him.
Jakiro, he's not even gonna go for it. He's backing right off PKB. PKB not going to save their friends here.
What they need to do there was they need to hit Gyrocopter, because if they didn't, his tranquil boots were just going to stay activated, so he would have had max move speed. Workshop goes aggressive. Workshop immediately goes unaggressive, goes passive just because those missiles coming out. Missile barrage, or rocket barrage, quite an effective skill for deterring faceless voids early on. All right, Mitch, do you want to handle the PKB introduction?
I'm all over it, man. So in middle we have Razor. That's Mac. He's having a bit of a rough time, but hey, man, you're doing all right. You got your fancy little Razor helm. I love it. On the bottom lane, PKB has Warshop on the Faceless Void. Roaming in the jungle right now, Smoked is Olive Juice and Demons. Demons on the Jakiro, Olive Juice on the Ogre McGee. And finally, in the top lane, we have Barishnikov on the Brewmaster.
Barishnikov, level 6 now, doesn't have any mana. Went for the phase boots, so he's just going to be really, really mana starved for most of this game.
He's about to be a little HP starved here, I think.
HP starved too.
Hey, same jokes! We're very clever.
Nice work, nice work. But Barishnikov will not survive. Actually, the last second miss might be enough to turn. We don't see the chase coming out from Dual Eclipse. He could have Shikuchi'd forward and gone for that kill, but decides, you know what, I don't need it. He can just keep playing safely and farming up. Like, there is no rush. That was close though for Barishnikov. A little bit of luck on his side. I mean, if Wraith King connects, they go for that kill, hands down, just because there's so little he can do to keep himself alive in that case.
Looks like Ogre Maggot.
Mac run into Jules. Nope. He's going to deter. I don't know, what do you think PKB should do to try and recover?
I mean, you can see right now, the Razor's rotating out of his mid lane. He's already lost it, and he accepts that, so he's going to rotate now. I mean, he's going for these kills up top, and they desperately, desperately need these kills against Pit Lord meta. They're going to secure one against that Ancient Apparition.
Poor Ancient Apparition could not escape. Rupli in a bit of danger now. Gets chased down for a bit, but decided not to go for the full-on tower dive. That was some aggression. That was some great rotation. You know, you have the high-level mid laner, the high-level top laner going up against the poor roaming supports who are poor both in gold and experience. So easy kills, and it slows the momentum down a lot. Like, they at least caught something. However, a lot of damage being done to the tower by J-Sauce, and now some rotation from Olive Juice to keep that alive.
I'm not totally convinced he can go head-to-head against the Viper here in mid. Jay is particularly strong right now. He's
Yeah.
He's rotating out. He's gonna go see what he can get, but you know his farm's doing okay. He's got some serious control of his lane.
Yeah, some control of his bot lane too. Jules, he has the rocket up in a few seconds. The homing missile. So he's gonna pop it out. JSauce now converging on him. If this doesn't get backtracked, they could be able to go for a kill.
Oh no!
But mid rocket. I mean, Warshop's already so low.
That's
Out
it.
comes the ultimate for JSauce.
Oh,
He is
no.
dead. That is a dead void.
That could not have gone worse for
no
him.
chance for escape. I mean, and that is well. That's the rocket in a nutshell. You can't deal with it. I think that did it travel through the Faceless Void ultimate?
I think it had just hit him as he popped for the Chronosphere.
As it casted, yeah, as it came out. I was wondering for a second, like, wait a second. Does that missile go through that? Like, I've actually never seen someone try and fire a missile into a Faceless
Yeah,
Void
I'm not sure how that goes. There's no way it goes through it, right? There's no way.
I mean, it's time being stopped. Maybe missiles just don't care about time.
Missiles don't care.
Missiles
Yeah,
exist
that's a fun science
in all
fact about
dimensions.
missiles. Yeah.
There's a time for missiles, that time is any time, so it can travel right through it. But you can see that, that was some good roaming from JSauce. Just need some more vision coverage on the side of PKB.
You know, this
Like,
void.
look at,
Sorry, go ahead.
looking at the gold chart, PKB's behind by about 3k. Experience chart, same thing. Pitlord Meadows
Just
got a 3k lead.
Oof.
We're 10 minutes in. That is a lot for this early in the game.
Yeah, and I was about to say
There
the
is
kills
a
so
ton.
far are a little higher than I expected. Oh, some action going on up top here. Rupley might be going down here. See, he does have the mana. Oh, he does, but he doesn't have the levels for his ultimate, so he's just going to go straight down.
This is some good roaming. They're picking up kills, but it requires committing Razor and Brewmaster. So Brewmaster ult isn't being used for any big play. It's not being used to, let's say, kill Gyro in the bot lane. Who, by the way, is killing Warshop right now. Missile up in 4 seconds. He could try and hunt him down to toss it out, but decides just to retreat. They need to make something happen. They need to get this tower, for example, or kill both Bacon, Bach, Dual Eclipse, or at least force them out. Like they're picking up support every now and then, but these are the roaming supports that are kind of expected to die. Demons does get a good stun out, but he's slowed by the passive from Viper. JSauce getting close, can't quite connect though, and will see Demons survive, at least for now. That's actually something kind of funny for PKB. Both Ogre Magi and Kieran has some trouble escaping from Viper just because of that corrosive skin passive. Actually, if Ogre Magi applies Ignite to Viper, he will probably do more damage to himself by the end of that spell.
PKB is committing 4 people to this top lane right now. They want it. They want that top tower badly.
They have Chrono. Chrono will not get used quite yet. Looking for a good snipe. Baconbach gonna get caught out. Good time lock coming out of Warshop.
Oh, that was unlucky.
It's skill. They have a Magi, a McGee on the team.
Correct.
That's all skill. They're all playing with the RNG. We do see Dual Eclipse caught up top lane, but they don't know he's there on the side of PKB. They think he just escaped. So the push has started. They don't have Ancient Apparition.
He's going to give himself away from behind now, yeah.
Go,
Nobody's going to come into the
low,
deny.
and you can see they're
it is
just trying to
deniable.
drop it.
Yeah, they're going to give it up.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
They could have fought it, but they'd be fighting into Razor Ultimate, into Brewmaster Ultimate. So that's a great pickup for PKB, and a great this dropping of the turret by Pitlord Meta. Just because they were not gonna get a lot done there. Like, they could have tried to outplay everybody on PKB, but that's not reliable. Like, they would have to just say, yeah, we think we're better than you, so we're gonna win this team fight that you have all your good ultimates for. Once Ancient Apparition comes online with his ultimate, once Wraith King comes online with his ultimate, I'd expect a lot more team fighting to come out, just because they provide they're high impact ultimates. Good stun onto Jules under the tower. Olive is taking a lot of damage in the front though. Razor going down for the chase. Barishnikov caught
There's
the
the
time
chrono.
Warshop gonna get the snipe onto Jules. Freeze time just to pick up a kill. Stun lighting onto Warshop in response though. Ultimate used by Brewmaster trying to pick off JSauce. JSauce taking a lot of damage though. In the backline, Warshop survives with a good
24
backtrack.
HP.
Lukop's just Shikuchi's on out, and that was a really, really surprising 1-for-1.
Wow.
Oh, everything burned by both sides. And that was a little bit of luck. I mean, a little bit of skill from PKB with that last survival from that Weaver snipe, but that was a lot committed. And right now, the team that's better without ultimates is going to be Pit Lord meta, hands down, just because of their high damage. Good committal though. They're catching out JSauce in the front, surrounded by everybody. Going to go down to the turret. Easy kill, easy pickings.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Pit Lord meta giving up some space.
Yeah, PKB is getting exactly what they need right now. These quick pickoffs, especially in their lanes where they need to start taking it back.
Oh, Jules might have been kept alive. Probably, I want to say Brewmaster with the. Wait, actually, does he have Yules already?
No, who's got the Yules?
Jules actually has his own Yules. Yeah, kept himself alive. Screw that. But does get sniped off by Mac at the end. Going for the chase. Baconbach taken down low. One more hit will do it. But can Mac catch up? He's a speedy Razor though. And, oh, they don't call him Grease Lightning for nothing. And now, I mean, Pit Lord meta, they do pick up 2 for 2, but these kills are worth more for PKB.
Absolutely, they're closing the gap.
Looking at the fight recap, more experience come in their favor. A little bit more gold as well. That was actually a 3 for 2 in the end. When JSauce comes out, gets done, gets tethered. Where's the Ogre Mag? I still already used, I believe. But he will be able to walk out, but still, this is a lot less clean than I don't really.
Yeah, that kill looked like a sure thing. I just think he didn't quite realize how many people were ready to help out that guy in mid.
PKB's been playing very well defensively. Like they were in a dangerous spot early game. I thought they might have lost, but they've been able to pick up a lot of these early game team fights. Weaver isn't online yet. Like he's going for a Lincoln build. At least I'm assuming so with Perseverance. So he's going for Refresher or Battle Fury. I'm going to assume Lincoln's.
Oh, the Chrono's going off in the bottom. Look at this. Down here on the bottom, Jules has got the tether from Razor. Razor is going to chase him through the woods. He doesn't quite have a read on where he is. And now the Gyros, he's going to land that missile on that Razor. That Razor might go down with Weaver in the bottom lane there.
Could be an easy pickup. Actually, that last second surge might be enough. Good Yules keeps Jules alive.
Oh my god.
Before he dies. Rule Eclipse is still alive.
They know he's in there. They want him.
Okay, he goes invisible. They're not going to spot him because the turret should have just been able to miss him.
He's gonna go for the Razor. That was a good trade.
So it's 2 for 2, but that required a lot of consult from PKB. So they pick up the mid tower and respond. So definitely going to be in favor of Pit Lord meta at the end of that. That was a good survival though from Mac. Like he kept himself alive just long enough to get those kills in response. A little bit unfortunate Pit Lord meta couldn't get that out of there cleanly, but hey. They killed 2 cores at the cost of actually their own 2 cores, or for a core. They almost have Lincoln completed now on Weaver. Just needs a recipe at this point. Has the big scary ultimate orb out of the way.
AA looking for nothing in the woods right now.
I don't know what he was trying to hit there. Like
I think he must have just been scouting out the lane.
Yeah.
He had
Gyrocopter, or not Gyro, Jakira would have had to macro pyre to walk into that part of the forest. That's the only way they could have gone there. That I guess a time walk from more shop. As for big items though, a Baryshnikov has Blink. That is a key Brewmaster item. You can now get into the fight quickly. He doesn't have mana though. Like this is something that a lot of Brewmasters have issue with if they go for a non-mana boots build. They just don't have sustained fight. If Baryshnikov goes with a Thunderclap and then follows up with his ultimate. Normally when you pop out the ultimate, you have another Thunderclap rating. That's something that makes Brewmaster just incredibly scary. Catch onto Jules, takes a decent amount of damage, pops out the rocket. Yules has been used as well. H-Nap Rektreational on the Baryshnikov. Baryshnikov just pops his own ult in response, so we got the Brewlings around JSauce being focused down by good old-fashioned Ogre Magi. Get some good skill. Warshot going to pick up Jules in the back. So Macro Pyre
might get away.
Quite enough. One more hit will take him out. So they're taking out the Gyrocopter. 2 already down the 4 PKB. They're just going to go ahead and retreat. Rupli caught on his own, has his ultimate available, but doesn't have the backup to make a lot happen. In comes the final hit. Alright, you're back at Wraith Team. What are you going to do? Can you stay alive? The stun comes out from Demons. Can they whittle him down? Looks to be just enough. 1 or 2 more hits. There's the blink. Oh, the French! Not quite enough.
He made him work for it.
We use a lot of time, and then let's look top lane. What's happening up here? Oh, hey! The tower is being taken. Because in that was a 4v5 and Dual Eclipse is going to go ahead and apply some more pressure, take some more farm. If by some miracle he goes to the secret shop right now, he'll also get a courier out of that, but I doubt that's going to happen. Actually, they send the courier back, just in case. So,
and that Void might go down.
Okay, so are you a gambling man?
I'm gonna say the Void's gonna
Follow
get
that
away.
rocket.
Void's getting
Follow
away.
that rocket.
Void's
Follow
getting
that
away.
missile.
He's gone!
Come on,
Come on! Oh no, man! I had faith! Oh, you've betrayed me, Warshop. I believed in you.
Close.
That was about as great as a rocket can get.
The only other hope there was that they get a backtrack on that rocket. But
How incredible would that have been?
happen this time around.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That's unfortunate. That's like maximum unfortunate.
They
Like, of
don't-
all things unfortunate in the world, that's probably one of the
Alright,
most
there we go.
unfortunate
Now we're
things.
dewarding. They know their ward's up here.
And looking at the vision coverage, PKB has a lot of vision on the top side of the map now, but nothing in their own forest. Nothing really in the bottom part, and guess where all of Pit Lord meta is?
Yeah, Pit Lord Meta has
taking
a...
that bot tower. Golden Experience, it's actually still at about 3k. So PKB have been holding on well. Difference in experience run as
Absolutely.
well is still pretty close. It's actually only 1,000 difference. So PKB are really holding in this position, which, given how the early game went, that's pretty much all they could ask for. And their late game isn't bad. I think they might have a better late game than Pit Lord meta, just because Faceless Void can be so hard to deal with for pretty much any team out there. Still, if they're dependent only on Faceless Void, they're going to have trouble just because of the ultimate from Viper. Weaver himself can do quite a lot to stay away from Faceless Void. It's not going to be an easy situation.
Let's take a look at some items, too. Some decent stuff on the courier herd. Weaver has his Lincolns, just waiting for him on the in his stash. Not a lot of...
Once he picks that up...
Sorry, just I'm not seeing a lot of BKBs or even a lot of BKB pieces. Lots of people not super worried about that.
I'm checking the list myself. I guess, well, who's really effective with a BKB? Like, who do you need a BKB against?
Viper is the only one I can really think of. Does BKB block his ultimate?
It doesn't block the slow, so it blocks all the damage.
Damage is a
but
nice thing to avoid, though.
I think the problem there is that Viper should have his Ags finished soon, and it's just, like, you will still probably take a second. Like, who's going to build a BKB? It'll be Warshop versus Viper, but because he's still dependent on attack speed, he really just needs to get Viper in the chrono, and they need to focus him down first. They really just don't have a good answer to Viper if they're not just taking care of him early.
4 of
And,
BKB
because-
smoked here in the mid. Look
They're
at
going to be
these
able to pick off
pickoffs.
2, maybe. We see Baryshnikov going to 3. Jules is used. Bacon Bot kicking down low in the bottom. Necropyre comes out. Does not really connect, though. Good survival by Jules. Jules keeps him alive for a lot longer than I thought he'd be. Ripley going down in the back line. Doesn't have the ultimate available. Brilliance will probably pick him up on the bottom part of the fight, though. Mac taking a lot of damage. Rocket going to hunt down Olive Juice. Full damage Rocket. Doesn't pick up the kill. The dual eclipse will. In comes the Chronosphere.
Oh.
Finally picking up Jules. That's actually the first death for Pit Lord meta. Warshop going to be taken down, though. I mean, he gets hit by the sun from Wraith King. A little bit too late, unfortunately.
Wow. Not a great encounter for PKB.
They committed hard
It looked really good.
without knowing where they were committing. Well, it looked good, but they were so far away when the fight actually started. Like, Baryshnikov blinked in blind. He knew they were nearby just because he'd lost his smoke. And he took the guess. The guess was not right, unfortunately, and he started the fight way too far away from Jules, way too far away from Rupley and Bacon Bot. So he couldn't hunt them down and just burst them right away. They almost got Bacon Bot, but he cut himself away. Jules went down, but Jules did what he needed to do, which was cast Call Down and fire off 2 missiles. Like, Jules is not important as a core. He's important because his missile does a lot of damage. So if they're trading a lot for him, it's really not worth it in the end, just because his damage is all magical and he's not going to be the same as Viper right now or even Weaver. Weaver with Lincolns is just going to be so hard for them to kill. They don't have a lot of good non-targeted CC, and breaking that Lincolns is actually pretty tough. It's going to come down to Ogre, and Dual Eclipse can actually Chikuchi the Ignite, and Drunken Haze, I believe. I don't know if Fire Breath gets blocked, just because you use it like an artifact, so I'd have to double check that. Everything else is going to be non-targeted, or something like Static Link, which is sort of skill-shotty.
Jakiro trying desperately to deward at Rashawn, and he's gonna get caught out by Rupley on the Wraith King.
He does get away. He's
gonna be
going to take
enough.
a rocket, though. Like, this is more than a full damage rocket, so prepare for the pain. Actually, he's gonna go down. Missile connects. One last hit from Dual Eclipse, picks him out. Out comes a great time lapse, but the Chrono Sphere out time Dual Eclipse, and they do pick up a kill. Ruthley will go down, but has Reincarnation Pop. Warshop forced him to retreat, taking a lot of damage. Call down might pick him up. One stun actually does secure the kill. Jules back alive. Jules taken down low though. Razor Folks trying to take him out. The Brewlings will focus him down to the side. It's actually now 3 for 3. Even fight. J-Sauce on his own though doesn't have mana. There's good old-fashioned racing in the sky. Gonna come down, gonna get the stun off, but can they do enough to escape the fight? Possibly pick up some kills. J-Sauce on the run. A little bit of mana, just enough left on Olive Juice. Crit from Barishnikov. 1 or 2 more hits. In comes Rupli, trying to keep his teammate alive. The stun might be enough. Olive Juice has the stun himself though. Should be able to pick it up. Now a 4 for 3. Rupli on the run. Looks like he's just gonna walk out of this. Has his own stun. Olive Juice completely out of mana. Pings onto that bounty rim because cash is so important. And that was the one fight for PKB. A little bit too much committal and a great Chronosphere gives them that fight. Apparently 5 people died. Okay, that was the reincarnation being used. Big team fight recap. But hell of a fight. PKB showing they still have that. But that was heavy over to middle from Dual Eclipse. He went super hard into that fight. He did not have really anything to keep him alive through the Chronosphere. No teammates around, or no teammates that could easily CC Faceless Void. He needed to be a little bit farther back instead of going for those crazy aggressive snipes. But it was a cool snipe, so I agree with that snipe.
You're all about style, Studio. Efficiency? No, it's all about just how good it looks.
That's why I play Slark. Because as long as you don't miss leaps, it looks really cool. Except I miss leaps. Anyhow, BKB still have some fight in them. I mean, Faceless Void is still Faceless Void. Looking at the goal difference, it surged to about 5k, down to about 3k one more time. I don't know, how do you feel about this game so far, Mitch? Like, where do you think the teams are headed?
It's tough to tell. I mean, every time I think that Pit Lord meta has the advantage, PKB comes back and gets a fight that's just worthy enough to kind of swing things a little bit back in their favor. And it's catching me off guard, man. I really thought that, you know, PLM was the team to beat. They have no losses on the record at all. They're totally clean this tournament. And PKB, I feel like, you know, they're holding their own. They're doing very, very well against them, and it really, really could go either way. PKB's late game is looking very scary for PLM. But like you said, the damage coming out of Pit Lord meta it's terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, like, the early game, they didn't rotate the supports. The ward coverage wasn't there at all, which is weird. PKB just really screwed the pooch on that. But they're not losing.
No, Pit Lord meta's rotations early on
are lost by now.
Yeah, I mean, Pit Lord meta's rotations early on were super great, but it isn't burying PKB.
I think some of that was actually, like, if Brewmaster had died top lane, this game might have been a different story, just because, like, that little bit of survival, a little bit of farm he was able to keep. Has kept him alive with some of his initiations. One for a Vladimir's this game, which is a little bit odd. You don't see Vladimir's... Actually, you might see Vladimir's brewed that often nowadays. I want to say you would see more of an Ags Rush, but I think it's actually gotten less popular. That's something I think I just missed from a 6.82. So he has a Vlad's, and I think that's actually something huge, because he's not dying in these fights. That Vlad's, that extra 50% damage bonus, is creating a lot more DPS for his team, just from Faceless Void and his auto attacks, from Razor and his survivability. Like, they're just keeping that extra bit of damage is doing a lot of work. Vladimir's is one of those incredibly efficient team fight items, just because you pick one up and like 15% auto attack damage across the board for your team. Hell yeah! I really like that pickup now, even if it's something that used to be less common.
Missile coming in.
Missile in the face. Missile in the face.
Barishnikov.
Oh, they killed.
Oh wow!
That is not common to see, just because that missile has so many hits on it.
There's that BKB on the Viper.
Warshop looking good. Warshop looking real good right now. And then the missile coming towards Barishnikov. He does get hit by the Dawn effect from J-Sauce. We can't believe missile gonna hit him. They could try and focus him down. In comes a follow-up from Rupli. They get a stun multicast. Will keep Barishnikov alive. In comes Chronosphere. The Warshop's going for the focus.
He focused nobody.
Down. J-Sauce has the BKB activated. Rupli has his ultimate, so he's gonna go down, but comes right back up. Warshop on the run. Warshop on the chase. Warshop survives with the last second backtrack. Just a huge cluster. All men fighting near each other to describe this fight. Demon's trying to pick off Jules to the side. Blink in from Baryshnikov. Ultimate already expended, but gonna pick up those kills. Jules in the air. Missile coming out towards Baryshnikov. Does pick up the kill. But the multicast of slots will finish off Jules.
Dire's middle tower.
Actually, no, Baryshnikov did not die. Just look down.
Yeah, that was
On my
looking
screen,
really bad for PKB there, but they all walked away. You know,
Still
3-0.
They lost tower bot. The question is, was that worth it? Warshop going aggressive versus Dual Eclipse. If his RNG is there, he might be able to win this fight. The thing is, Dual Eclipse can always press R, and he might do it now.
His Chrono's down for a minute.
Tower bot. That exchange is still totally worth it for PKB, just because of experience. That's a 4v5 done. It's still incredibly close. If they'd had full 5v5, that would have been automatic taking that fight away.
Absolutely.
I'm a little scared. At the same time, though, they still got a lot of experience about it. Still doing pretty well.
That XP graph is spiking all the way back up.
When Weaver is in this fight. Yeah. Like, they're almost even on experience. If Weaver shows up in fights, though, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the game at that point. It might be a very, very dangerous situation. And I thought Viper was going for the Ags, going for the BKB instead. This is smart because there is a ton of CC on PKB. You know, Brewmaster CC, and then you have the always fun Ogre Magi, Shakira combination, Hemlock. Does pure spell immunity though. So, well, actually something fun about Void, if you use BKB in Chronosphere, the time lock damage is magical. So you at least block that, but you don't block the stun. And actually blocking time lock damage is pretty key to keeping Void's damage down. Void, by the way, does have Ags himself. I'm going to use it on Dual Eclipse top lane. I think Dual Eclipse might survive this.
Yeah,
he's fine.
Warshop's damage is really not as impressive as you might expect for a Void at 30 minutes.
He didn't pop the Mask of Madness for some reason. Which,
it was still on
normally
cooldown.
expected. Oh. So he needs a Mask of Madness and he needs some luck. Dual Eclipse gonna go ahead and make some friends. Hurry though, just gonna say bye-bye. Yeah, Dual Eclipse going for... This is a 6.81 as hell build. 6.82, now that Weaver can pick items that aren't the Slater. You've seen some variants, some Mjolnirs come out every now and then. Some just give it Maelstrom. He can actually choose unique attack modifiers. Mac Invisible. Some good scouting. Okay, Dual Eclipse just walked in the Mac. You should know that someone is there, but it's such a subtle thing that it's incredibly easy to miss. So if you notice that, yeah, like you can see Pillar Metal all backing up, they realize someone's invisible there. It's one of those like really small details that sometimes people miss because they're not even looking at the screen. Like, or not looking at the screen, I mean not looking at their character. Bumping into someone invisible is always fun. You do catch it though.
Hey man, why am I stuck? Why can't I move?
We can see. Oh, all right. Mad Guy's screwed. he tries to TP away, gets hit by a rocket, gets hit by mules. You get hit by a lot of pain. So a clean picking right there. This is something Pillarman is amazing at. Their team is gonna have some of the best pick-off potential out there. You can see a 4-man strong push mid lane for PKB. I don't like this. I mean, they're going to get some TPs in response, but the problem is they don't have their Mad Guy, and Pillar Beta sure as hell knows this because they already killed him. You can see Dual Eclipse is going to keep pushing up top, though. Doing really well in CS, almost at 200 by the... He's going to be at 200 by the 35-minute mark. He's going to be at 200 by the 33-minute mark, really. Gonna have some trouble if he does get caught out by PKB, though, but will Shikuchi away, and actually run to Warshop, double damage on him as well.
His Chrono is up.
He needs to get out of there.
He can take him if he wants to. He just needs to find him.
Where was the Chrono? Should have just gone for the Bravery Chrono. Unfortunately, Demons would have been too late, but he checks the wrong part of the forest anyways. I mean, if PKB could be getting nervous. Something I want to be surprised about, just because this is an intense game. They're up against a good team. Like you said, people consider them one of the best. So may have just expected, some sort of big play to keep Weaver alive, and just did not go for the full committed Chronosphere.
Warshop's
Did you
sitting
see
on
the
$2,000 right now.
So there's a lot of options for this build.
Yeah, I mean,
no
he really
out
needs
yet.
the damage. He really needs it.
Like, he could go for the heavy proc build and go for Maelstrom. He could go for
Absolutely.
just straight up damage. Like, he has a lot of options right now, but he has to start going for it soon. I think the issue with going for heavy procs is if JSauce gets an ultimate off, then he's screwed. really, there's not a lot of easy choices for Warshop here, unfortunately. Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing something funny like Diffusal, what is it? Diffusal into...
Abyssal?
Name the item for some reason.
Abyssal Blade?
No, not Abyssal.
Heaven's Halberd.
Illusions.
Oh,
Illusion
Mantis
item.
Style.
So,
Mantis Style.
I don't know how I forgot the name of that. I built one today. But, if you want the Mantis Style, it could be something funny just because the Illusions will at least be able to keep attacking fast. He's got a lot of choices. It's an unfortunate situation when you like this though as Void, just because you have a couple of characters that will just stop his attacks. Like if he gets caught out by Gyrocopter in his
Dual Eclipse could be in some trouble here. Chrono's going up.
Dual Eclipse is fine. He's gonna
yeah, again, that damage output. There it is. He just needed to back up is all. There's his Maelstrom.
There you go. That's some good skill. That's some good skill from Olive Juice. So something Warshop's doing is he's using Mask of Mass to get around, and that is totally keeping him from getting some of these kills solo.
Absolutely, yes.
If he had Mask of Madness up, Weaver would have died without that last second multicast. Alright, tower pushes on, no Weaver.
Brishnikov's got his Hyperstone. I wonder, he's got to be building into his Assault Cuirass.
That's what I would assume too. This is a solid pickup. A lot of CC going on JSAW. It's going to get focused down right away. Pops the BKB. We see some good deference from PKB. They don't want to fight this. They don't want to commit to this because they realize that, you know what, they're fighting into the tower. They actually can't do this right now because so much got used fighting Weaver earlier. Good Yule will actually keep the hero alive. Might have been actually from Guild himself. Missile finishes it off though. JSAW's getting the brunt of the damage though. Trying to walk out, trying to head towards the dragon, trying to deny himself. He actually cuts him out for long enough to get the rest of his team out of the Chronosphere. Might have been enough. Rishnikov going low to Dragons. Dragons really taking sides here as Ripley now trying to finish off Ogre Magi. Yules and missiles all around. Mac trying to get out. One more hit. There's that last hit. And, well, now it's Warshop. Hit by the Orchid.
4 for 1.
Time will look up in a second. Okay, use Mask of Madness.
Now he'd use it for mobility.
Okay, he's fine, actually. He had enough HP. So that might have killed him if that missile hit him. That missile's still going for it though. They can try and chase. Like this is gonna hit.
And the AA ult's coming in.
Oh, no.
Almost. That almost certainly would have killed Warshop.
So if the AA ult had hit him, if the time walk had gone off, Warshop would have died because he would have gotten hit by the AA ult. The missile would have connected afterwards, and he would have just been finished off. Still, I think that was a 3 for 1 with Weaver already being dead.
Poutine King or Fiddler Meta rather.
They just did not have what it took to fight under the tower with everything already used. Now look at this Roche. Look at this Roche go down.
That's free for Fiddler Meta. Nobody responding at all. The TPs went to top lane.
I mean, they have nothing to stop this. They do have Chrono up. I mean, it's 60-second Ags Chrono, so it's always going to be up pretty much. But it's unfortunate. For free Chrono, Dual Eclipse no longer has to worry about about that jerk. That's surrounded by a happy face. Thank you for that happy face, Matt. We saw that drawing. Very beautiful. Very elegant. Give him a nose.
Perfect.
Something to smell with. To smell this good Dota with. Art aside, Lord Meta. I mean, they're back in the dominant position. They took that fight cleanly, but more importantly, they have the Aegis on Dual Eclipse. I mean, that's going to be really the big deterrent for Pitler Meta doing anything. Warshop can catch, and with very little help, kill anybody on the enemy team. I don't think he can get that many solo kills yet. He does have Maelstrom finish, but usually you want a little bit more damage, especially because we're fairly late in the game. People like Weaver have gotten tankier, things at Lincoln's. Still, it takes, Ogre Magi to show up, and they're getting kills reliably. I want to see how Pitler tries to adjust to this. Do they just go for a full-on 5v5, fighting into Razor? Does Razor have Ags? Not quite yet. Actually went for the BKB first himself, too. So, the damage and push on Razor is a lot more limited. But he's able to keep himself alive through a lot of the magic damage. All that magic damage actually coming out from Gyrocopter directly. You know how much damage Gyrocopter's full combo does, by the way? It's insane. It's something like, I think 1,600 damage, or 1,800 damage if he connects all his spells in one person. Not including any auto attacks. That missile is ridiculous. The missile actually going forward is gonna die.
So close.
those missiles are taking out a quarter of Brewmaster's HP. Those missiles are stupid. Like, they're really, really good. Another missile coming out. I think Mac's gonna get hit by this one. Oh, they're trying to cut it out. The Basket Manus gets used, but they just go ahead, decide to take the damage. Mac walks right into it. They could go for the fight here.
It's an awkward standoff. Nobody willing to commit.
Seconds. Yeah. You can see dual eclipse off to the side. You can see, actually, really all of Pillar off to the side. They want JSOS to get targeted first. Dual eclipse gonna get hit by multicast. The luck is there. Warshop doesn't commit his ultimate to finish.
He will now.
Weaver. In comes a good Chronosphere, but we see Void hit by the Yules. Dual eclipse will go down. Can buy back to get back in the fight. Racing goes down himself. Fun slow all around. Jakiro down in the back line. Warshop going for the chase. So Rupli, unfortunately, not lucky. Neither is poor JSOS. 3 for 1, a good comeback fight from PKB. They get the pick off onto poor Weaver. They get the follow-up pick off onto poor Weaver. And the way that fight was positioned, that Chronosphere blocked off all of Pit Lord Meta from getting into the fight. Like, they did get the Yules onto Faceless Void. Boy, that's such a small impact compared to the I believe it was Magi and Brewmaster just right next to Void. Right next to Weaver, getting 3 auto attacks on him. That was a perfectly positioned Chrono, perfectly timed as well, catching Weaver as he came out of that Aegis. Push onto the mid lane though. PKB going for something big here. Just looking at hit Barishnikov in the face, take some damage, take some tower shots. Bacon Box could go for the chase. Warshop gonna get the Chrono onto nobody. Big purple boob in the middle of nowhere, doing a whole lot of nothing.
He actually may have screwed Mac there.
Yeah, Mac is the one being chased down. JSOS can't quite commit though, pops the BKB. Void in the backline though, getting taken out. JSOS not very fast. I mean, Ogre Magi has just enough move speed, 350 to walk away from JSOS. Actually stops for a second!
Oh no.
That's gonna be it! Olive Juice gets hit by the slow from the auto attack. The Bloodlust keeping him just out of range, but I think he's going down. He stopped moving and that's it! Whoops.
Yeah, the 4-step will be enough to save you now, man. Wow.
If he'd kept walking, he would have most likely survived. I'll take Ruby.
Pit Lord Meta earned that right back, and they didn't need to. Pit Lord Meta, or sorry, Poutine King Bar did not need to hand that one over. I feel like they could have backed off that tower a little bit, and they wouldn't be giving up this tier 2. They wouldn't be down 3 men right now.
Let's check buyback status. Can they actually come back into the fight? No, they cannot. No buyback for quite a few players.
No, just
no buyback on Weaver, no buyback on Viper as well. So, I think they can try and take this tower. Brew's going to be up in a second, but we'll have the full ultimate. Faceless Void up in 10. Ag, so definitely his ultimate up. Jakiro does get hit by the Viper ultimate, but Viper doesn't have Ags. Ultimate essentially used for nothing. They're just going to have to force Pit Lord Meta back on up. The big thing here is that buybacks were used by Pit Lord Meta. Those are long cooldowns, 7 minutes now. And a lot of gold being spent in the process. Look at net worth, Faceless Void, and Brewmaster are tied now with Gyrocopter and Weaver. Like, there's a huge competition for the top side. They're actually adjusting positions as they get CS.
That is a ton of money for those characters as well.
This is a money-heavy game. A lot of kills, 53 kills. 2 minutes in, more than a kill a minute. Always fun. Not quite at that 2 kills a minute threshold, which when that happens, the game's just silly.
6 of them over 10,000 gold. Ridiculous. Obviously the supports, the only heroes in the game who are not.
So Warshop just used his ultimate to farm ancients. Like, he just took no damage, which is weird because he already takes no damage from the lifesteal sustain.
Absolutely.
So, big play to farm those ancients with Chronosphere.
3 for 1. 3 for nil there in the ancient pit.
Something we haven't talked about, by the way, is how just good Ogre Magi is for this team.
And we didn't talk about this perfect Husky courier.
Well, it'll shift. Well,
it's Husky now.
I think it's luck.
No other courier matters except Bearsky.
I really like Texon couriers. I just want to say that. Like, they're always weird and like a little bit less Dota than you expect.
Yeah.
But they're adorable, so they work out. PKB, this Magi pick is perfect. What does Razor need to do damage? He needs the tether with static link, and he needs auto attacks off.
Pit Lord Meta roamed with smoking to get that void, and he's just gone. Sorry, continue.
Well, The Magi solves the problem that Razor has, which is his attack speed sucks. He has bad agility growth, only 2 agility per level. It's low, especially for someone who uses attack speed quite a bit. And you normally don't build a lot of attack speed because you just walk into people as Razor. However, the Ogre Magi lets him get a lot more auto attacks off. Dual Eclipse going to go down. They're going to chain CC him. Dual Eclipse cannot survive on his own. He's actually now 4-5. Like, he's gone negative in kill-death ratio. Sub 1. Like Weaver's playing a little bit too aggressively. I love playing aggressive Weaver, but Lincoln's does not stop Chrono, and he's playing like it does. So there's going to be a good 70 seconds for Weaver being dead, and PKB just to go ahead and push and top lane. They're going to get a tower out of this, most likely. Weaver does not have buyback. The Magi lets Razor attack, the Magi also lets Faceless Void. Get so many more procs off, gets so much more damage off. Magi, perfect pick here. I think Magi's pretty close to one of the perfect characters in this match, though. He is ridiculously good.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I was actually telling Mitch earlier in the game that Magi will be picked every game this series. He might be banned at this series as well, but I would not be surprised. I would be surprised to see Magi picture not in the game. You see the top push going on. Our cover TPing back in. ASOS TPing back as well. They realize, well, we were dead. We need to keep this alive. We need our barracks.
Yeah, a bit of a slow response there as well. I mean, they knew they were giving up that T2. They knew that there was no reason for these 5 to stop rolling on top. And they might lose this tower.
The problem is they don't have Weaver, and they know they don't have Weaver for a few more seconds. Like they just can't commit till he comes back. They stall it out. They take a lot of damage on the top tower, down to 400 HP. It's out of 1600, quite a difference. But they knew they couldn't fully commit, and that was well played by Pitlord. Meta not fully committing, well played by PKB. They pretty much got what they needed to out of that. Like they knew how much they would receive with that safe play. God. Void top net worth by a good 1,000 gold. Had one of the worst starts possible as Gyrocopter just sat there tossing out missiles. So I'm wondering what Pitlord Meta can do to stop really to stop Chrono. BKB is not on Void, so if we start seeing the Orchid come out early on the Faceless Void around. Aside from that, they don't have a lot of silence, they don't have a lot of CC.
Pitlord Meta's going to get caught smoking into Rashawn here, but it might go their way.
I mean, it's a 4v5, they don't have Weaver. This is going to be huge for PKB if they can control this fight early. Great Ice Path hits too. Racing already going down. In comes Void looking for that pickup onto Jules. Jules keeps himself alive for a little bit longer. Razor already down as well, though. We're going to see Jules go down off to the side. Should be picked up pretty easily, so 2 for 1 so far. And, I mean, PKB takes a fight. Pitlord Meta has to disengage. They can try and go for the Roche pretty cleanly. Weaver's going to have some time to split push top, but you get that Aegis onto Void, all of a sudden that Orchid doesn't matter. All of a sudden they can easily just commit to a stupid fight, and Void can kill himself, but he'll pop back up and have the ultimate response. That was a little bit silly if Pitlord Meta roam like that, especially without solid coverage. They end up committed to a fight without their hard carry, really. Good news is Dual Eclipse doesn't die in the fight. The bad news is that's not what they need right now. Heaven's Halberd actually could be effective for the Void.
The MKB he just picked up is an interesting choice for damage as well. I didn't think about that.
Which item?
I thought it just popped up and said that he bought a Monkey King bar.
Faceless Void or?
Yeah, on Void.
Oh god, he did. He's buying that full. Like that's the full item in his inventory.
Bought it outright, yeah.
So that's huge because Weaver's building a butterfly, or at least he has the Talisman of Evasion. So that was going to be one of the defenses Weaver had, especially if he didn't go for a heart build. He could at least have a bit of evasion to survive the Void attacks. He's got really no defense now. Like, he doesn't have a lot of armor, he doesn't have a lot of HP. He's easily going down in a Chrono to this very, very powerful Faceless Void. Void, like, not only has to die, he has to die early. He has to die twice. I like Pitlord Meta. I mean, they're the team that beat me, so I have to root for them. Also, machineries are destroying Berkeley. But EKP are far ahead right now, and then some. They can still lose a fight, for sure. They can still lose this game, but Pitlord Meta just has to really kind of play around the Void, which you never want to do. Luckily, Void's gone full glass cannon, so if they do ever get a good pickoff, then Void will not survive, won't have BKB, won't have a good defensive option.
And he needs to be careful as well. I mean, he's roaming a lot alone. He's trying to just push his waves, and then what we decided was time jumps into the trees and gets on his way.
Really, I think what they need to do is to start chasing him down with Rocket, and then follow up with Orchid. And they can kill him really easily. Like, he doesn't have a good escape at that point. But they're not really fully committing to yanking Void, and the only person that can reliably do it right now is that Gyrocopter. No one else can secure a kill.
They just have no means of locking him down. There's no way to keep him in place. There's no way to keep him from getting away. There's no way to keep him from just popping a chrono and unleashing.
Jules, what are you doing?
Oh no.
Actually survived. Face the Void didn't immediately cast Chronosphere, so Gyrocopter got the missile off, and the stun actually did connect. That's something important to remember about Gyro. The stun does not scale based off distance, only the damage.
I did not know that about the damage. I'm learning things here.
The damage goes from... The minimum is super low. Actually, the minimum isn't... it is 50. You go from 50 damage to 500, and it's over, I think, 1500 distance. So it's actually a pretty large space you have to go to get max damage. You probably want to approach Gyrocopter if you're not worried about the missile, or about Rocket Barrage if you cast Missile. Just because you reduce the damage quite a bit. What is the attack speed on Void? Mask of Madness no longer on Void, so its attack speed is pretty good, but not as terrifying as it could be. Then again, it's either like keep the Mask of Madness or keep the Aegis. I think they'll keep the Aegis. Alright, mid tower down to 200 HP. Razor can pop ult and just walk at it instead. Not even going for the pop ult, just walking at it, and it's dead. Good deny from Bacon Box.
Nice.
97 damage deny. Not easy. And good missile in the backline. Mac take a little bit of damage. Nothing too scary. The Rex now under threat. The question is, who goes out front? Roop League has to bait out the Chronosphere somehow. He has to make them cast spells that PKB don't have to cast and don't want to cast. They don't want to fully commit a Chronosphere to Raid King. What's he gonna do?
No, but they do need to stop Jules. They either need to leave or initiate and take down Jules. I mean, he's just going to keep throwing those rockets out, and they're going to keep picking away at PKB's health on the harder carries who need it.
They are, but the unfortunate. Well, they have Mech on Mac. Mech on Mac. That's actually
Mech on Mac. And the Yules has the Jules has the Yules.
Well, committal on to JSauce. JSauce initiate on by Brishnikov. Brishnikov gonna pop the ultimate in a second. JSauce does survive. Pop his own BKB. Where is the Chrono? Where is the Void? Chrono used in the back line. Dual Eclipse not gonna survive this. I think he does have buyback available. Wraith King dying in the front line. Can they do this fight? Can they survive this Pillar Meta really being taken out quite hard? Mac has already gone down. Aegis is popping face as well. We're going to come back up. Jakiro does die, actually. These racks are being focused, though. I mean, this is the really important objective here. It isn't so much the heroes. All of just going to die in the back as well. Warshop does finish off the racks. Can he survive, though? Nope. Last second stun from... I want to say Rubley just keeping himself alive. And now it's 4 down. Who has buyback? Who has buyback? Available on Void.
Razor and Void.
Available on Razor. And available on... That's it for PKB. So Pillar Meta lost to Rex. That was a really, really good team fight in the end. No buybacks used by Pillar Meta. I actually don't know who they lost. They should have checked the fight recap.
Oh, I missed it. They lost the Weaver. Just the Weaver.
The Weaver? Okay, so PKB won in hard for that. I thought they had more to that fight, but then they sort of split up. Warshop went back to the racks. The team was partially going for kills, partially going for objective, and you never want to split up like that unless you're kind of zoning. That wasn't zoning, that was full-on team fight, and they suffered the repercussions quite hard there. So now they're going to lose this tower.
I mean, they could lose Rex here very easily.
Come out.
Void's Chrono is back, so is Razor's ultimate. They're going to get out. This is the right choice.
They're going to get up. Oh! Warshop goes in, gets hit by a stun though. Jules can he keep himself alive. Jules will be available in a second, but he will go down. No question about that one. Oh! JSauce Illusions! JSauce Illusions! 2 HP on the Rex! Not quite enough, but the last second catapult shot does secure it, so Rax, for Rax, more buybacks being used by PKB. Overall, really good fight for Pitlord Meta. Really good fight for PKB at first, but they shifted a bit too far in both directions, going for that split focus. When do you want to split focus, Mitch? This is the question.
When do I want to split focus? Not often,
split
man.
Push.
I don't. Yeah, I mean.
Split push.
Split push.
They weren't split pushers. They were split fighting.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, that's been the problem from the beginning. I mean, we saw a couple pick-off attempts get kind of split. It let the Weaver escape. I think that's been PKB's biggest struggle. It's just finding the guy to focus. Especially, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right? If you have a Razor draining with the static link, that's a good target to take down.
He's being focused down now. Does he have the ultimate available? Actually, so if he goes down here, it's not gonna be a big deal. Gonna apply the slow. The tether disconnect, doesn't get that much damage. In comes Warshop on the side. Dual Eclipse. Gonna go down one more time. This is the Weaver story. The story of the Weaver dying non-stop. Warshop doesn't get CC, doesn't get hit by Ancient Apparition stun though. Jules in the front line, they do take out Razor. McAvoy's going down first in these fights for some reason. Now JSOS being focused on as well. They're kind of backing up, no chrono available, so Faces Void really just can't commit to the fight. They need to land some good CC.
Oh, the multicast!
The stuns keep him down. Triple kill onto JSOS. So JSOS just cleaning up. Faces Void doesn't have a lot of options right now. The slot machine is great for Olive Juice, but he should be going down here. Bacon Box takes some damage, just doesn't care. It's another 4 for 2 there. You're looking being focused down. So, what's happening in these fights, and this actually happened for me, Game 1 versus AC Slider. Void is getting good chronos off. He's killing off someone important. The problem is, Viper survives. Viper surviving means that he's going to have Viper Strike available for Faces Void. And the second that connects, the second the Void is in the fight, either without a BKB, or without Chronosphere, then JSOS takes control of the fight and just can keep cutting him around. He's effectively worthless at that point. JSOS can get auto attacks off.
JSOS's Manta style is also giving him a ton of favors, and you know his concentration to push, his concentration in destroying this the Rex, and then he's able to rotate and split. He's just terrifying right now. He's got to be a concern for PKB, and they need to start focusing down JSOS.
They're going to do it now. They get a great Chronosphere onto him. Also pick up Bacon Block off to the side. Tether onto JSOS. JSOS does have buyback if he goes down, and he's going down here. I mean, he survives for now, but the time walk is up right about now. This does juke it for a second, pops the Viper Strike, but goes down. And there's the buyback, not even wasting any time. Like, they know it doesn't matter. Actually, Roche is up. And pick up that sweet Aegis, possibly.
And cheese, the delicious cheese.
Cheese is huge here. A little bit less huge for Lord Meta just because you can still die through the Chronosphere without having a chance to use cheese. But if they get cheese on someone like JSOS, that's cheese on JSOS, Aegis onto Weaver.
Dual Eclipse is in trouble here. I mean, the entirety of PKB is roaming toward Rashawn, and he's going to get caught out.
I think he survives. Just walks on out, no chrono available for 4 more seconds. Uses time lapse to escape. JSOS is here. JSOS doesn't have buyback. JSOS cannot die. But it looks like they'll both escape. I think Dust gets popped a little bit too late as we've already off to the side. But you know what this is? This is a free Aegis. Good old Warshop, a free cheese. The rest of the Pillar Men just weren't in the area, unfortunately.
Weaver just
Scary, man.
did some of the heavy lifting for him. They're gonna just take that.
So cheese onto Mac. Mac's been dying in a lot of these fights really early on. He's 8-10. He's like I think the first big focus for Hitler meta. He zones out while the Chronosphere goes down. Now that he has cheese, he's not going down quite as easily. Hopefully he doesn't go down at all with that cheese pickup. And now that Aegis has been finished, I mean this is a scary fight, especially without the buyback on JSauce. No buyback. Really, no buyback on it for anybody in the game besides Wraith King. No one has the money, or it's on cooldown. The closest buyback coming up soon is going to be Chikiro and Brewmaster. They just need some money. Everyone else, it's either like a minute and a half or more for the buyback. Push going out. That range or melee Rex not going to survive most likely. They do pop the Fortify. And they make something happen though. Warchop gonna get stunned for about 4 seconds, but they don't commit to it.
I think Rupley's trying to fade out that chrono.
Cast though. Pops BKB as well. Rupley going down onto the side. Warshop does get hit by a stun. Rupley still hasn't died yet. There we go. Oh, last second Ancient Apparition almost hits Mac before he applies the cheese. Warshop getting CC'd though. Gonna go down. Out comes the Aegis. Can they focus him again? He's gonna have chrono available this time. That's what makes it scary. That's what makes it terrifying. They have to kill him before he can pop the chrono. He does time block forward. Misses the chrono!
Oh no!
Tries to walk on out though. They hit him with the Yules. The Mon's being picked up to the side. This means Dual Cup can actually stay alive. Dual Cup will fight this fight. Normally he's just dying. Buyback comes up from Rupley. Warshop caught in the middle of the fray. Does have time lock available. Hit by the 3.5-second stun though from Ancient Apparition. Trying to walk, trying to chase. Max should be going down now.
That's
One
it.
more auto attack will do it. No, it's a missile instead. There's a Brewmaster ult popped in the middle of the Pit Lord meta base. That Brewmaster ult's about to end though. Give it a good 5 more seconds. Joel's taking some damage. Gonna use himself. Let's follow that Earth Bear, that Earth Ruling. Because Brewmaster does get hit by a last Ancient Apparition ult that can't blink out. And he's
in trouble.
Dead. He is very dead. Alright. I got some bad news if you're a PKB fan. There are 0 buybacks in this game at all. And guess who has more people dead?
Dire's bottom
It is
tower
not
has fallen.
Pit Lord meta. Pit Lord meta actually lose their bottom tower. So they have only their ancient towers available. So we're gonna see. I'm guessing the try push here. Like they're gonna push into the base and then try and take out the barracks from just top and bottom.
You don't think Pit
Buyback
Lord Meta is
available?
just going to go straight for the throne? I mean, this is their chance.
Well,
3 of them have no buybacks. It's just Akiro and just Void able to defend right now. If they can take these towers, if they can go straight for the throne, Pit Lord Meta might be able to take this right now.
Chrono available on Faceless Void. Buyback from
Buyback from Razor.
I think he just ticked into that. They're gonna get 1 tower. Can they get a second?
The Chrono.
Yule in a lot of trouble now. But there's the Yule.
Oh.
Yule comes alive. Can he escape? Just
Dual
more and more a
Eclipse.
little bit. Oh, time up,
no.
enough time.
He can buy back.
Time.
Weaver can buy back.
Weaver could buy back and try and actually time us back in the fight. We'll see what he decides to do though. JSauce does have buyback himself, trying to cut out Worship. The Worship already used. His ultimate doesn't have buyback, goes down. It's now 3 for 1. Weaver back in the fight. No, it's gonna walk into the fight, and it looks like PKB going down. We're gonna pick up this first game.
That's gonna
One
be
hell of a game, 60 minutes long. Jesus.
Man. I thought for a minute there that PKB had it in the bag, but Pit Lord Meta just really turned it around there at the Ancient. They pushed them back. They were able to force the necessary buybacks, and they pushed straight for the throne. They weren't going to waste any time trying to take those last couple racks. They wanted to win. They wanted to secure it. They wanted this game to end.
So that is the harrowing story of playing Faceless Void versus Viper. If Viper doesn't go down first, he'll cut you out. And if Viper doesn't go down after Chrono's been used, he keeps kiting. And it just kept happening. JSauce kept kiting Faceless Void. Faceless Void was also getting some big pain from Ancient Apparition and stun from Gyrocopter and the missile. Like, he would leave that Chronosphere and just get stunned for 5-6 seconds.
This has been the
So,
interesting narrative
really well
for 6.82. I mean, you see a lot more matches like this, right, where games are not decided by 15, 20, 30 minutes. They can go on for 60 minutes and 26 seconds, and at any moment it's anybody's game.
I think average game time went up by like 12 minutes the day the first patch hit.
I am so into that, Studio. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
We'll see how the teams are doing, because I need a little bit of a break to drink some water.
Indeed. We'll be right back.
I'm assuming Rick needs a bit of a break too, so yeah, we'll be right back with game 2.